Hello and welcome to another episode on Maritime Radar. The Abuja-Kaduna Railway, Lagos-Ibadan Railway, and the Lekki Port are three major projects that have dramatically altered the scope of transportation, cargo handling, and shipment in Nigeria, and lifted its image above Nigeria's sphere on the continent of Africa. These modern game-changing technologies have added real value to the existing projects in those two sectors, rail and port development. While the Abuja-Kaduna Railway stands as Nigeria's first modern railway, marking the continent's inaugural instance to Chinese standards in modern rail infrastructure. How to build a functional standard gauge rail line network across the ports and facilitate trade are some of the issues that will be on the front burner on today's show. I'm Nneoma Obi-Asualo. The major rail project currently serves as a crucial component of the ECOWAS interconnectivity railway network and represents Nigeria's railway modernized project. It has improved investment, facilitated trade, and the movement of people and goods, propelling economic development. The new dedicated freight services introduced by railway has established a vital link between the port and rail, thus expediting the flow of import and export goods, alleviating port congestion, and contributing significantly to the growth of Nigeria's largest port, Lagos Apapa Port. It also plays a key role in promoting the development of export-oriented economies in the surrounding areas. The sincerity of the managers and operators of these futuristic infrastructural projects is key to bring about the realization of the dreams and aspirations of these vital schemes. Before we get further into today's lineup on the program, let's find out the latest in maritime news.
The forward operating base of the Nigerian Navy in Ibaka, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, has arrested and handed over 14 suspects made up of 4 Ghanaians and 10 Nigerians, suspected to be engaging in illegal fishing to the Federal Department of Fisheries, Calabar. The commanding officer, FOB Captain Uche Aneke, while handing over the vessel and suspects, said they were arrested near the NNPC floating station in Ibaka Beach on September 14 for illegal trawling. This incident came to light after a report from the Eastern Regional Control Center, Calabar, indicating that the vessel had been involved in illegal fishing activities within 5 nautical miles offshore the Calabar Channel and within FOB Baka's area of operation. The latest piracy report from the International Maritime Bureau (IMB) has revealed a rise in reported incidents in the Gulf of Guinea, as well as worrying signs for the Singapore Straits. There were 21 incidents recorded in the first 9 months of 2023, compared to 14 incidents during the same period in 2022. Among these incidents, 17 were classified as armed robberies and 4 as piracy. Safety of crew members is a mounting concern, as 54 people were taken hostage, 14 were kidnapped, and 2 were injured. The Gulf of Guinea stands as a region of concern with a rise in reported incidents, as opposed to the downward trend seen in the past 2 years. The majority of incidents were reported in July, with ship stores or properties being the primary target for theft. IMB emphasized the importance of early reporting of incidents, even low-level opportunistic ones, to protect seafarers and ensure the safety of regional and international shipping and trade. The International Maritime Organization, implementing conventions on pollution preparedness and response and for transposing them into domestic legislation, attended a sub-regional workshop aimed at sharing best practices relating to the instrument's application in West Africa, held in Lome, Togo. The event brought together policymakers and those who advise on and who draft national laws in Benin Republic, Guinea, Mauritania, and Togo. The objective was to raise awareness on how the IMO develops international rules that are effectively implemented and must be reflected by member states in their national legislation as they receive IMO support. It forms part of the organization's commitment to supporting African small island developing states and least developed countries. Similar workshops were held remotely in 2021 for the benefit of the Gambia, Liberia, Namibia, and Nigeria.
If you are just joining us, this is Maritime Radar. The organized intermodal approach, which is to facilitate movement of cargo in and out of Nigeria ports, must be given the right attention considering the state of the roads and a role a proper transport sector will play in the promotion of intra-African trade. In this chat with Fidet Okhiria, Managing Director, Nigerian Railway Corporation, on the key role of the railway in Nigeria's port, trade, and economic development. Stay with us. It's good to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you, and God bless you.
And let's start this conversation looking at or taking an assessment of your administration in the past 6 or 7 years, if I'm correct. What are the key projects that you've been able to do? What have been the challenges? And what are those projects that are geared towards trade facilitation?
I would say I'm lucky that I had the helm of affairs in the Nigerian Railway Corporation. These years we are looking at that in my time, we had dynamic ministers, and we had forthright ministers, and the president was supporting us. So we were able to deliver Abuja to Kaduna, completed in 2016, and operations also started. Rolling stocks were brought in, more were brought in, and it became the darling of people on that between Kaduna, Abuja, Kano. That up to the extent before the unfortunate incident in March, the patronage was so much that in a month we were hitting 500 million. And Lagos Ibadan, we started it, completed it, and put into use too. It worry was, let's say, ongoing for 31 years. It was remodeled to meet the, before it was just really for freight, moving coal, iron ore, and for iron, and eventually remodeled to meet passenger service. And in the bid to link Abuja to Kano also started. That lot commenced. We were there last month to see how far they've gone. They are working well. And the popular Kano to Maradi also was awarded, and work commenced. The Lagos Ibadan is expected to hit Abuja, and because of the scarce resources, there is what I call a pause, not intentionally, but since the government is presently looking for funds to continue so that they take the rail to Abuja, Abuja to Kano. So there was also a process of concessioning Itakpe to Warri with the company CRO CC to take it from Itakpe to Abuja. That was before COVID. COVID came, and after that we didn't hear from them. But presently, the present administration and the minister is taking up very seriously. Last week, we had a meeting with the company, and they gave them a matching order. It said that we gave them timeline to come up with the new funding model so that work can start, or else we throw it open again. So we also had the Eastern Line. A contract for modernization of track was also awarded of over $13 billion. But in the process of looking for funds, it became so difficult. And in order not to just abandon that corridor, they said we should reconstruct the narrow gauge as was done on the western axis, so that the narrow gauge on Western and both the standard are working right now. So a contract for about 3.something billion for reconstruction of the narrow gauge and extension to Wiri to link up the other states that we are not linked up before was also awarded. I'm happy to say that construction is ongoing. We have a setback when that incident happened, resulting from banditry and insecurity. It did not only affected the Abuja to Kaduna, it also impacted on Lagos, Ibadan, Itakpe, even on our narrow gauge. We were advised to stop any operation between a place called Mokwa after Ajeba to Minna and to Kaduna.
I guess that should be the major challenges you've had, or do you have any other?
Those are the major challenges because during that time, people attacked the track at no rate we have never seen before. They vandalized the track. Now that the security has advised us that we can start operation, we have gone online to see the situation of the track and station. We saw that a lot of vandalization, but we are putting our heads together and see how we can meet up by December to start running on the old track from Lagos to Kano.
Okay, talk us through the dedicated freight service introduced by NRC, which is to establish a vital link for the flow of import and export goods. You know, at this point, we really need export if we must drive this, for economic value.
So that's what the rail is meant for. The rail is to enable the industry grow, the commerce grow in the nation. So the policy is that all rail must be linked to the ports. Although we had a problem linking the standard gauge, the modernized track to the ports as a result of a custom scanning room that was on the right of way. And we have to look at a way of overcoming that temporarily. So we have to divert the track and ensure we go to at least to APMT, and also we go to ANL. Okay. But we have not been able to get to what we actually wanted, to be at the foreshore. That is where we can receive goods directly from the ship.
So any plans to ensure that?
Yeah, on the ANL side, they said the foundation is weak. It needs to be rebuilt for it to take rail.
Okay.
And they call people to do a study and see how to go about that.
So what about the Lekki Deep Sea Port?
The Lekki Deep Sea Port, the process is on. We are hoping to link it to the coastal rail. Okay. We have a lot of offer for people, even volunteering, to provide funding to link it up at least from there to Ijebu. So we are looking at various options.
So any timeline for these projects? And
the timeline is funding.
Okay. Okay, let's look at the collaboration with the new marine and blue economy. How has it been? Have you started any discussions? What are the projections? What do you plan to do with them to ensure that, because we need these collaborations if we must make this industry forward?
No, these are children from the same parent. We are in the same Ministry of Transportation, and even presently we are in the same building in Abuja. And we all know ourselves, the CEOs know ourselves, the directors know, we know ourselves, and we are ready to cooperate to ensure that not just government, but the people of Nigeria benefit massively from working in collaboration. And the Shipper Council, who is in charge of regulation of what happened in the port, we work with them. That's why we're able to move what we are doing now on the standard gauge. We are moving container to our Montreal freight yard, and a lot of offer is coming. People are now coming to us that they want to go by rail, and we are perfecting them to ensure that we are able to meet their demands. So we don't want to slack, and that can only happen when the terminals like APMT cooperate with us, ANL, they cooperate with us, we will be supervised by MPA, that is the Marine.
Are you saying that you're not getting the desired cooperation from them?
I say they are trying their best. You know, it's not easy to move from one system to another, but we are getting there.
Okay.
We have moved 3 trains of 30 wagon, 40-foot containers in the last 2 weeks, and I know within this week, they said they are getting about 60 TDOs, Polari, DHL, bonus, and BAT in Ibadan. At least they understand why they should use rail. They know it's, their mind will be at rest when they are on the rail.
We will talk more about this cargo by rail, then by extension to other West African countries, but that will be after this short break. Please stay with us.
News Central TV, Africa's #1 storyteller, has come with the best of both worlds. With a combination of news app and live TV, we ensure that you keep track of the latest headlines, breaking news, and in-depth analysis from professional journalists from around the continent. Download the News Central TV app on Android and iOS and get started today. Don't forget to follow us on News Central's social media platforms. News Central, Africa first.
If you're just joining us, this is Maritime Radio, and I still have with me Fidet Okhiria. He is the Managing Director, Nigerian Railway Corporation. Before we went on that break, you were talking about cargo and moving by rail. So I want you to talk more on the importance and the advantages of moving cargoes via rail, and which will also help facilitate trade. Then also looking at Nigeria, our geographical position in West Africa, we should be able to leverage that to be able to use rail to be able to connect this and also spur trade around this region. So talk to us through that.
As I was saying earlier, when the rail is functioning very well, the port will be decongested, and the cost of delivering those things that are coming will be at reduced costs. And don't forget, we are strategically placed. We have the port in Port Harcourt, we have port in Warri, we have port in Calabar, we have port in Lagos, and we have these sisters countries that up there that are landlocked. People wonder why we are taking rail to Maradi. It's for our interest to take rail to Maradi.
Okay.
Because even before now, we are moving rail to moving cargo to Nguru, and they use truck to move it to Niger. And when the opportunity arose, and it was better, because when you take to the border and there's nothing to move there, it's at a loss. But fortunately, there is this corporation, ECOWAS corporation, that rail should link the West Africa coast, so that the African trade, this thing can grow. So it's good that we develop our rail strategically.
Okay.
The rail that we had before was also developed strategically to meet the colonial interest then. That's why you have the horizontal, moving raw material to the ports. That was their main interest, and moving finished product to the hinterlands. Now that we are diversifying, we are trying to ensure that our rail is connected to, I don't want to say industries, potential industrial area, and potential raw material, and where you have mineral to harness. So that is the target, and that is the policy for rail development. So as far as capturing the other West African country economy, I think the development targets into that. You can see there is a rail going from on the Badagry.
Okay.
That one is going to Badagry, and that is also to link Republic of Benin and something like that. So with that, we think we can service the West African coast, and Nigeria being a very big country, and the marine is there. You see the Lekki, you see people, there is a concession for Badagry deep sea, there is another one, Lekki deep sea. So, and I think last time it's opened, and you have the free trade zone. So you can imagine when the other African countries, and we are now a hub
Okay.
for other West African countries. it will generate employment, not just money. Because the government has to ensure that people are gainfully employed, and that will reduce this unnecessary tension resulting from banditry and I don't want to tell terrorism acts, because idle hand is the evil's workshop.
So, what much have you been doing as regards export with rails? What plan or projections do you have for that?
Right now, we are moving export, but that's not the way we want to do it. We want to move export right from a far distance. That's what rail is meant for. Okay. The export we are moving now, because of the congestion in the ports and Papa Road, people come to Abeokuta, people come to Ijoko to drop their exports, and we move it by rail, because rail, there's no traffic, there's no. But I want to be able to move exports from Kano, from Fontua, from Kaduna Drive.
So what are you doing about that to ensure this desire of yours? How do you want to bring it to bear?
We are working with them to ensure, like I said, I hope by December we'll be able to move back on the old track, although the new track is ongoing, the construction is ongoing. But before then, we don't want to wait before then. Some of them are now bringing their product to Ibadan at Monia, but we want to also be able to move right from, you have Fontua Inland Airport, we have Dala Inland Airport, we also have the ICNL in Kaduna Dry Port. So we want to be able to move exports and also move imports to those various inland dry ports. So we are working with them, and the government cannot do it all. Okay. In order to that, the railway has developed what we call the track access framework, and has been approved by the boards. Okay. That track access framework will permit you to bring your rolling stock, that is the local and wagon, and under our supervision, use our track and pay a fee. Okay. And we are looking at starting to encourage people so that when they bring this thing, we know they have to recover the money, and there is no second-hand value for it. So we also encourage them to ensure that we make it very, very comfortable, and the business case for them will be a win-win for government, for Nigerian Railway Corporation, for Nigerians, and for the investors.
As the MD of NRC, you are the chief marketer. Yes. So if you are assuming that your passengers are listening to you right now, so what will you be saying to them as regards normal passengers, as regards using them for cargo, as in regards using them for their goods? What exactly will you be saying to them?
I would say they should patronize the Nigerian Railway Corporation. It would make them, it should make their business grow faster. You can imagine if, for instance, fuel, 20 trucks of 45,000 liters arrive Kano in a second. You will not be talking about fuel scarcity. And we can do that once a week. Wow. So you can also imagine like what the British American Tobacco is doing right now, that at least maybe twice a week, 30 containers get to Ibadan. And you can, the impact it will play on Apapa Road, the traffic there. So we can move, as I said, we can even start now with 30 containers a day. Wow. So if you move in every day, 30, that is 30 in 3 places a day, which means 90 trailers of Apapa. I think that the port will be decongested. You can clear your goods and move your goods out of the port on time. And it's not a competition with the road, it's complementary. Right now, the people moving the container from the Monia port to rail place are joining the service. Because instead of stretching, spending 1 week in Lagos to get container, they see them, they go to Monia, go to the British American Tobacco on the express. They can do it 3 times a day, instead of running that long distance from Lagos to Ibadan and getting fatigued and getting involved in because of fatigue accident. And the owner of the vehicle also can monitor it. Not that when they get to Okhiria, they say the tire went down or the ejector is no longer working. So all those things will be taken, and it will be for the best interest of all. So.
Okay, what are the projections that you have going forward? You've mentioned a lot of things that you have done and the things that are on pipeline. Any other projections, other things that you're working on that you need us to know?
So we are praying and hoping that that policy of continuous expansion still continue.
Are there any plan to go, because you realize that most of the containers that come to Apapa port, 70% of them ends up in the east. Any plan to be able to develop move cargoes to that part of the country?
That's what I was saying. In the last time we went there, the minister insisted that because that rail is supposed to connect to Onne port, so he asked them to do as fast as possible to deliver the connection to Onne and link up to Aba and probably to Enugu and Owerri. Owerri is very close to Onitsha, where you have all these industries. So we are pressing the contractor to quickly deliver those routes, so that not only we are moving from Lagos, we can also move from Onne port, move from Port Harcourt port. And the Warri Itakbe is expected to be extended not just to the Warri port. They are expected to be, the company is expected to develop a Warri, a bigger port in Warri under concession. That is the arrangement, so that this congestion in our ports can be reduced. And if the ports are working very well, some other African countries can tap into it.
Yes, because if you have that, these some of our cargoes that we lose to these West African countries that we
can come patronize our ports.
Wow, that's it from the Managing Director of Nigerian Railway Corporation, telling us the importance of using the railway for your cargoes, even as passengers. It's been nice talking to you on the show. It's been Engineer Fidet Okhiria. He is the Managing Director of Nigerian Railway Corporation, telling us all he has achieved during his office and the importance of the railway. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure, madam.
And that's our show this week. Join us every week on Maritime Radar as we explore key drivers of development in Africa's maritime sector. You can also expect the latest in global and local maritime news, plus industry insights right here. I'm Nneoma Obi-Asualo. Many thanks for your time on today's show, and see you again next week.